It's time now for today's strategy session. You got President-elect Donald Trump tapping venture capitalist David Sachs to be the White House crypto and AI czar. So what does this mean for the industry? We want to break it all down with Frank Speiser. He's Metafide's CEO. It's a predictive trading platform that actually sees Bitcoin getting to $250,000 by the end of next year. So a lot to unpack here this morning, but I want to start there with the lead, and that is David Sachs here being appointed this crypto and AI czar role here in the incoming Trump administration. Does that make you even more bullish on what the potential is here for Bitcoin over the next 12 to 13 months?
Yes, it does. It signals a shift to being hospitable to crypto innovation. And in general, just the concept of its viability as an asset class. I think it's a full vote of confidence from the administration, something the founders in the industry have been looking forward to for a long time. And everybody I've talked to is super bullish, almost unanimously. I don't think I really got anybody that is saying that this doesn't mean great things for the industry. And I think, you know, that 250 starts to maybe look a little conservative if a few things click for the industry here.
Then what could be then more realistic? Are we talking 300? Are we talking 260? I guess give us a better sense.
Yeah, you can see 275, 300 if the rest of the world begins to adopt it as a viable hedge against inflation and an alternative settlement mechanism. There's really no reason why the price floor needs to be there. There's only a few million circulating Bitcoin. If you look at the historical chart, there's 21 million that will be in circulation, but there's about 15 million that are locked up right now that don't really move. So there's a limited supply and a growing appetite from large ETFs and nation states to soak them up. So I think that means a competition for the remaining Bitcoin on the market, and that pushes prices up.
But Bitcoin is down today, Frank, and there was this kind of idea that once they hit that $100,000 psychological level, we would see some profit taking, but we didn't see it right after we hit 100,000. What does today's move tell you, and is it part of a broader story here, or is it something simple?
Yes, actually. So this right here, what we're seeing is inexperienced traders taking long positions on Bitcoin and being taken to school by professional traders. I think what happened is people decided as the rally was running, to take long positions if it wouldn't retrace, it was going to just blast to new highs. But that's not the way the industry works. That's not the way the asset has ever worked. And over the past 24 hours, you've seen almost 1 billion in liquidations of BTC positions.
Frank, when it comes to, I guess, just the potential here, you talk about the key psychological level of 100,000. And I guess if we do see institutions and then potentially government continuing to buy in beyond this, and you have this appointment of David Sachs, how much does that just totally reshape the crypto market and maybe what is to come and make some of these regulations even more realistic or more probable?
I think it means great things for exchanges based in the United States, so they can start to bring these projects to the general audience and retail investor class. I think it gives exposure and a pathway for investors to see, okay, this project can develop, I can bring it to market. The United States starts to look like the way you bring projects to market, instead of being essentially radioactive over the past few years, where if you're a founder in the space, you were taking a real chance. Mark Andreessen was just on Joe Rogan explaining how he's had 30 founders debanked in the past, 3.5 years, just for being associated with crypto. And I think that all goes away. And instead, what you do is you see a return of innovation, which is what the United States leads the world in, and what we're best at.
I want to get your take on some conversations we've had here at Yahoo Finance this week with individuals who've both had to really stay the course during the crypto winter here, and that's Michael Saylor and Anthony Scaramucci. Let's take a listen to what they had to say about the Bitcoin rally.
Just keep buying Bitcoin with your spare capital. It's going to appreciate against the dollar forever.
This milestone is important because I think it tells people that Bitcoin's probably ready now for prime time institutional investing.
What an incredible backdrop for Anthony Scaramucci there. But, okay, are we really out of the woods when it comes to any question marks about the validity of Bitcoin, Frank? And I get that that's the question that every Bitcoin stan hates to hear. But I think there are going to continue to be people who remember the FTX collapse and still have questions about whether or not this really can come out of retail and be an institutional investment vehicle.
So I think if you fork the question here, yes, we're out of the woods in terms of its recognition as a viable asset class from professional investors, but we should not consider ourselves out of the woods for volatility, because the asset doesn't work like an equity, and it is subject to liquidations and things that typically don't impact stocks in the way that people might traditionally invest in them. So you're not able to look at it like a stable asset that has hundreds of years of precedent as stocks or equities do. But I think what we'll see is not just more of a better policing of the projects that come onto the market, but I think we can look forward to now U.S. exchanges such as like Coinbase and Kraken and Crypto.com, folks that bring projects to the retail investors in the States here, vetting the projects and taking projects with long-term viability. And once those sort of move into the market, and you're not just chasing these meme coins and meme tokens that are just ridiculous in my opinion, you'll start to see real value creation, a real generation of returns for investors. But Bitcoin itself is going to be subject to swings, and I think you'll see that through the next 2-3 years before it starts to finally mature when it's 3 or 4 times the price that it's currently at.
All right, Frank Speiser is the CEO of Metafide. Thanks so much.
Thanks a lot.